Just going to go through and show just a few parameters that may interest you with this template. Alright, typical door, typical wall, typical section, brand new section, placed in my pre-built template. I'm going to change the scale, show the detail, generator. I kind of placed it in there just to see how my calculations would work by using different components, but as you can see, this template is already detailed, so I don't have to do anything but just add notes to this, or keynote. Just right out of the box, all the way to the door head, door jamb, windows, curtain walls, furniture. Everything is already pre-built as specified. So there's technically no reason to detail. The model is already smart. Mostly when you cut a section in Revit, it shows a blank. I mean, there's no detailing inside of it. In this case, there is. Now, even if I move the door, my computer's a little slow. It's an older laptop. Running about 2 gigs of RAM. It's AMD. Not an expensive processor type laptop. But here, door, delete the section, reapply the section. Then I'm going to show it again. And everybody knows this is a headache in Revit when things move and it's been detailed already. Show the detail. So it kind of eliminates that headache of having to recreate and redraw these things. File size is not large, still a small file size, even with this crappy computer I have, because it's pretty much running pretty fast for a Revit model. Everything's there. Same at the base. Fully parametric. I can control those objects. Curtain wall. And this process can go on and on. I'm just showing you a door and a curtain wall just to show you the speed and the power of Revit. Change the scale, show the detail. And if you're doing cookie cutters, I mean, this is perfect. Yeah. You'll save money all day long doing cookie cutters. Head of the curtain wall, with still angle, flashing, caulk. I mean, this wall can move. Of course, I placed it. You could either have your structural engineer actually 3D model this. If the architect is responsible, you could be responsible for moving the angle and the flashing. So fully parametric. This could actually lower or raise or whatever the height of this curtain wall is going to be. Those parameters change. Whoops. This is an old model. It's like one of my first ones that I built, so it's probably got hiccups. But normally that would have lowered, and everything would have lowered with it. I wouldn't dare show the new template yet, which is far beyond this one. But everything's already there. You know, everything's not modeled correctly, but just did it real quick just to get the point across and get my thought process going to finish the bigger template. You know, I could even, I could add more wood blocking to that detail if I wanted to. You know, I can move it, towards the face of the wall a few more inches, or I can pretty much move that block anywhere I want to. The flashing, I can move it and change it. The caulking, the wood blocking, which attaches to the cavity of the wall. It's parametric, has a parameter built into it. And then again, this is an older template. So a lot of the errors have been taken out and fixed from then. Even with plan details, and call outs. It changes the game now. Using Revit. You could have a college student come right into your office and make an impact. If you wanted to, as long as he understood how to move things in Revit. Change the scale, show the detail. And this is what I define as a level 3 Revit project, where it's almost like a cookie cutter. Some architectural firms do the same type of building, so the details are similar. So this is incorporated into the parts. As soon as you drop your curtain wall in, as soon as your door comes in, as soon as a piece of furniture comes in, it's already detailed. It's already attached to the wall. What is there to do next besides keep designing? Give more hours to the architect who went to college, did their studies, passed their exams. Let them design, let them keep designing, let them custom build things. And get away from this cookie cutter stuff. So this is a level 3 Revit. And it goes far beyond that. Even it goes all the way down to the lighting. And I can check my lighting here for all the lights inside of the this little retail space. So here's my different rooms. Here's my foot candles that I need for that room based on the Lighting Institute. I forgot all the acronyms for them. And this is what the actual Revit model is exporting, based on the light fixture that I'm using. So pretty much dead on, with my foot candles, and it's let me know that I'm -4, which means I have play with this room here as far as foot candle concerns. I'm under. I need to be a little hotter than that, but I got a threshold of a plus and -5. And so whenever this threshold exceeds this, it turns red, telling me that my building inspector is gonna cite me. So it kind of gets down into the dirt of the data. Once this is complete, the data's there. Here's that same lighting, and lighting is pretty easy. I'll show this one. Here's all my light fixtures. That's the floor it's on. That's the room numbers, room names. And then it goes into breaking down into what's really going on here. This is for my tenant. He wants to know what his lighting load per square foot is, and what's that dollar amount, the net wattage per square foot. Here's my wattage per room. This breaks down to FM. Facility management. Each room has a wattage count that the building owner can change. If someone says, hey, we want to change your light bulbs, they could type that information into their side, or update the Revit model and input their electricity costs for them. So this is like a big tool that they could use. As me being the architect, it has hours of use for each room. Maybe you got a tenant that only comes in for 8 to 6. I mean, your hours of use are going to change, and so is the lighting. And so that could be added into that. I could add in light sensors, motion sensors can be added into this where it'll actually reflect the cost. If I drop that item into the BIM, utility costs, the tenant, the building owner can actually, or the tenant can type this in if that cost goes up from your local energy company. So it breaks down to the data too. So all that data can be extracted. I'm not going to show you that little bit of data there, but my bigger template is probably about 75 different charts, different schedules, and it breaks all the way down to, me being able to take this building now with this parametric in it, and now I can design this building for a day and actually have a cost associated with it. I can have it detailed. I could even come back and help my construction manager out when it's time to do scheduling. Navisworks is one of those programs that does scheduling. On my laptop, I don't have a mouse. I don't use a mouse for a laptop. In order for me to build this, sometimes you have to be in a car. I don't want to drag anything. Yes. Sometimes this doesn't work that great. But back to what I was saying is, you even have a stud. I even have parametrics for studs. Do your stud counts and stud layouts. That could be upgraded based on how you want Revit to look. Here's my studs. Fully parametric. When I drag it, it's already spaced out 16 inches on center. It tells me how many studs I have. And all that's reflected in the schedule, and it's associated with the cost. So I know how many studs I have in the project. I know how much drywall I have in the project. I know how much it costs. I know how much the contractor is going to charge me, and my numbers should reflect what his numbers is reflecting, because square footage is square footage, cubic square foot is cubic square foot, and a linear foot is a linear foot. There is no difference between his linear foot or this model's linear foot. They're all the same, unless your Revit model does not extract the information into a schedule. And that's possible. It's easy for you to put a door in, and the door may not be associated with a wall. And everyone makes that mistake of not having a door associated with a wall and catching it. And so that door will not show up in your schedule. So of course your construction manager and the architect is going to have an issue until someone finds that problem. The architect understands that his building is 100% complete and that everything's reflected in the schedule, then we shouldn't have an argument there.